Today we will do the chemical reactions and the equations. Here are some chemical equations, reactions in our daily life: respiration, digestion, storing of the milk, जंगाल लगना, grapes the fermentation, food the खराब होना, and this type are the daily life. From our daily life are few examples. Now come to the activity. When the magnesium ribbon burns with the oxygen to form magnesium oxide, that with the water, magnesium oxide act with water to form magnesium hydroxide, that is tested with the red litmus turns to the blue, shows that magnesium oxide is basic in nature, and the residue collected upon the watch glass is white in color, and the magnesium burns with the white flame. Here are the reaction taken a conical flask. Zinc granules are placed in it. Some dilute sulfuric acid is put in it. Zinc react with the sulfuric acid to form zinc sulfate, and hydrogen gas will be liberated. That can be tested with the help of bringing a burning matchstick that will burn with blue flame, and the pop sound will be heard when the hydrogen gas is released. Another example is reaction of magnesium with oxygen to form the magnesium. These are some simple types of the chemical reactions. How to balance the chemical equation: the compounds or elements upon the left are the reactants, and on the right side are the products. How to balance it? Count each and every elements on both sides should be same. For example, water is on the left side, hydrogen is 8, and on the right side 2. Then how to balance? Place the 4 here in front of hydrogen. You can see that on the both side having 8 hydrogen on left and right. This way you can balance by hit and trial method. This is known as the rusting of the iron. Iron reacts with water to form its oxide, and hydrogen gas will be liberated, and iron को rust लग जाएगी. Some more examples of the chemical reaction like carbon monoxide and hydrogen combine to form methanol, and photosynthesis, formation of glucose from raw material. Carbon dioxide and water is also a kind of chemical reaction. In the brackets we have written the state of each compound, and upon the arrow some conditions like temperature, pressure, catalyst are required, that are written upon the arrow. And another is some more examples of the reactions is the combination reaction. Combination reaction is we have taken in a beaker calcium oxide, that is known as quicklime reaction with water to form a salt lime calcium hydroxide, and the beaker feels to be hot. This shows that the reaction is exothermic in nature. And we apply the whitewash calcium hydroxide upon the walls that react with the carbon dioxide to form calcium carbonate solid. We have applied the liquid, and that converted into the solid. Some more examples of the combination reactions are carbon react with carbon dioxide, and hydrogen react with the oxygen to form the water. These are the few combinations reactions. Then another is burning of methane and glucose with the help of oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water. This is the respiration reaction. Glucose react with the oxygen to form carbon dioxide, water, and energy. This is the respiration, also exothermic reaction, because the heat is involved in this reaction. Any carbon hydrogen containing compound burn with the oxygen, oxidize with the oxygen, always to form carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide and water. Then the decomposition reaction. What is decomposition? Means टूटना. We have taken in a test tube, in a dry test tube, iron sulfate, and iron sulfate is green in color. When we heat it, the iron oxide will form and sulfur dioxide. You can see whatever we present in salt, same that gas will be eliminated. If here is sulfate group, then the sulfur dioxide will be eliminated and the salt is converted into its oxide. First it lose its 7 molecule of water converted from green to white, then it break down into sulfur dioxide, trioxide, etc. Similarly, calcium carbonate when heated in a dry test tube form its oxide, calcium oxide, and carbon dioxide will be liberated. Same here, lead nitrate heated, then the metal oxide is formed and nitrogen gas will be eliminated out. You can see again कि calcium carbonate will liberate carbon dioxide, sulfate, iron sulfate, metal sulfate will liberate sulfur dioxide, carbonate converted into carbon dioxide, sulfate is to sulfur dioxide, nitrate is to nitrogen dioxide, and metal oxide. Now the electrolysis of water. What is electrolysis? When the electrical current is passed through the water, water that will break down it into gases, hydrogen and oxygen. The anode is the negative terminal and cathode is the positive terminal. Put few drops of the sulfuric acid to make water more electrical conductive. You can see that the amount of hydrogen liberated at the cathode is much more than twice than the oxygen liberated, and this is known as the electrolysis of water. At the anode, oxygen will be liberated, at cathode hydrogen will be liberated twice amount. What is the photochemical reaction or photo reaction? Photolysis with the help of due to sunlight, silver chloride will break down into silver and chlorine. You can see easily sunlight is needed, or any source of light, any salt and some salts that are photosensitive that will break down into its pure metal. This is used for the extraction of metal from its pure compounds. In the watch glass, we place the silver chloride that is converted into silver and chlorine gas. And its daily life use is in the photographic film. The silver bromide is pasted. When the light falls upon it, it is converted into silver and bromine. Other is displacement reaction. What is displacement? Means Visthapan Kriya. The iron wheels are placed in copper sulfate solution. Copper sulfate solution is blue in color. The more active metal, iron, will displace the copper from its solution, and copper will settle down, and the solution of copper sulfate is converted to ferrous sulfate, iron sulfate. मीन्स आपका जो कॉपर सल्फेट का सोल्यूशन है वो ब्लू कलर का है, वो क्या हो जाएगा, ग्रीन कलर का हो जाएगा. Similarly, more active metal zinc lead will displace the copper from its solution to form respective salts like zinc sulfate and lead chloride, and copper will be displaced. In this you can say the more active metal will displace the less active metal, and the vice versa can't be possible. More active metal will displace the less active metal. What is double displacement reaction? In this, sodium will displace the barium and barium will displace the sodium. Both metal will displace each other, and this is also known as precipitation reaction, and the white precipitates will be formed. And what is the oxidation reduction reaction? Both combine to form the redox reaction. Here we have taken the example, addition of oxygen is known as oxidation, and removal of the oxygen is known as reduction. In this reaction, the copper reacts with the oxygen, means oxygen is going to add with copper to form copper oxide. This is a kind of oxidation reaction. Sorry for some interruption. We were doing the redox reaction. In which the addition of oxygen takes place, that is known as the oxidation reaction, and removal of oxygen is known as reduction reaction. You can see copper with the oxygen to form copper oxide. Copper is oxidized to copper oxide, and copper oxide is reduced to the copper. Here you can see hydrogen will take the oxygen, it will oxidize, and copper is reduced. Similar reaction with the zinc oxide and carbon. Zinc oxide is reduced to zinc, and carbon is oxidized to carbon monoxide. This way you can see the redox reactions or the oxidation reduction. What is the corrosion? Jalgana, like the iron, reacts with the water and oxygen to form the iron hydroxide. If we bring the copper vessels, they react with the atmospheric carbon dioxide and water to form copper carbonate and copper hydroxide. And similarly, silver will react with the environmental सल्फर टू फॉर्म दी सिल्वर सल्फाइड. आपकी जो चांदी या आप कॉपर के वेसल्स लेके आते हो वो थोड़ी देर बाद काले हो जाते हैं. जैसे सिल्वर पे सल्फाइड की लेयर जमा हो जाएगी जिसकी वजह से वो काली हो जाएगी, कॉपर का कार्बोनेट और हाइड्रोक्साइड बन जाएगा. दैट्स वाई इट गेट corrosion. Due to corrosion the tensile strength reduces and its shining goes. What is rancidity? जो फैट एंड ऑक्सीजन रिएक्ट विद द ऑक्सीजन टू फॉर्म बैड स्मेल और बैड टेस्ट, that is known as oxidation of fats and oil, that is known as the rancidification. And the process is also can be said oxidation also. So that's why in the chips and kurkura nitrogen gas is filled to make it inert, to keep your food क्रंची. जो आपके पैक्ड कुरकुरे चिप्स ऐसी चीज़ें होती है उसमें नाइट्रोजन गैस भरी होती है पैकिंग में, ताकि वो उनमें जो मौजूद फैट और ऑयल है उसकी ऑक्सीडेशन ना हो सके. थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग वीडियो.